My story is about a time when I told a story and got caught, basically. I was in high school, and it was a speech and debate class, and I think everybody can relate to the laziness of the typical teenager, and how if those teenagers would just harness the energy and effort that they put in being lazy into doing the work, they'd be so much more successful. And of course I fell into that category where, I put stuff off to the last minute and, slipshod work the whole way through. And one of them was the weekend assignment of coming up with some sort of original extemporaneous story to tell class on Monday. And I didn't give it a lick of thought. But what I did do was read the Sunday comics, of course, in the newspaper, and it was in the comics, buried in the comics was the Ann Landers section of the comics, or in that advice column. And I remember thinking to myself, man, I've got this thing, I'll give a speech on Monday, I haven't even given it any thought. And Ann Landers had some sort of write-in person from the middle of nowhere, Indiana, and was talking about how great life was living in a small town and all the cute little fun little attributes about small town life. And I said, you know what? I grew up in this little town called Titusville, Florida at one point in my life. I'm going to say that this is my story about how growing up in a small town was like. So I pretty much committed this Ann Landers column to memory. And again, like I said, if I had just put in original effort, it probably would have turned out much better. But I got up there very confident that my too cool for school friends in the class, there's no way they read the comics on Sunday. Only an idiot like I do does that. As well as the teacher. She seemed like a young, hip teacher, and there's just pretty much she didn't seem like the Ann Landers column reading type. So I figured I was pretty much going to, get away with it and stuff. And I told this thing, and it was funny. I mean, people were laughing about how these little cute anecdotes about growing up in a small town, and how everyone knows your neighbors, all that kind of stuff. And I sat down, very smug, smile on my face as everyone clapped. And I was on my way to my seat, and there was this one girl. Never noticed her before, but she made the comment as I was sitting down, "I see you read Ann Landers too." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And basically, so did the teacher. The teacher said the same thing. "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Oh, that was in Sunday's Ann Landers column. He read it verbatim," or whatever, Just totally busted me up or called me in on it and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, I know this girl now. From now on, this girl's, in my crosshairs." And, the teacher got very serious because, this was a speech and debate class, and this was about, I think this was before Joe Biden and plagiarism was a big deal, I guess, or whatever, But, I was read the riot act, I was given an F mark for the day, and it was a whole black cloud. And of course my friends are now ripping on me for not only stealing an Ann Landers, how lame is that, but then getting caught at doing it as well. I mean, I didn't live that story down till now. So that's it. Thanks. So that's my story.